homeless men and women struggle every year to find shelter from the harsh Kansas winters.
And RCPD Director Brad Schoen announced his retirement in February, but the search for his replacement has not gone far.
Plus, with the election only 12 days away, 2 of the candidates are currently in a dead heat. And Manhattan is still recovering from flooding on Labor Day. We have a live report from Wildcat Creek coming up in just a few minutes.
But first, we go to Alex Kemp, who is outside with the first look at our forecast. How's it feel out there, Alex?
Good morning. Rain is trickling off the trees on this damp day, and later in my weather forecast, I will tell you why it's probably a great idea to carry around your umbrella for the rest of the day, as well as wearing a jacket.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Welcome into Channel 8 News. I'm Adam Cook.
And I'm Amelia Andrews. We begin today
at Wildcat Creek, which has been a topic of discussion since the major flooding nearly 2 months ago. Channel 8 News reporter looked at Wildcat Creek to see what risks it brought to the area.
This past weekend, Riley County officials, K-State professors, and Manhattan residents met at Manhattan Public Library to discuss the future of Wildcat Creek. The major flooding that occurred over Labor Day weekend that left over 300 people astray and caused about $7 million in damage. Many different suggestions to resolve the issue were tossed around, including forming a Wildcat Creek watershed district. This district would include forming an independent body with its own board and would have the power to change property taxes to make improvements to reduce the potential of another massive flood. Dr. Larry Erickson, a chemical engineering professor at K-State, discussed why he organized the meeting.
So one of the main purposes of the meeting was to have some dialogue with city people and people who live in the county and in the watershed. We had some people there who had been victims of the flooding, and we had people who have professional skills who can help solve some of these problems.
Now, as you can see, water has receded to normal levels for this time of year. However, the city of Manhattan and K-State want to be prepared for the next time a heavy rainfall comes through town.
Donna Schenk Hamlin had one good takeaway from the meeting regarding what to do to prevent significant property damage.
It really focused upon informing all tenants, along with their contract, that they live in a watershed, pointing out where they are, giving them the dates of the last flood, and helping them and landlords and property managers to come up with plans for evacuation, plans for mitigating the damage, and alerts.
Fortunately, Manhattan was recently approved for a FEMA flood grant. This funding will help with damage repairs, as well as help with finding the right solution for Wildcat Creek. From Manhattan, Austin Springer, Channel 8 News.
Thanks, Austin. Last week, President Trump approved a federal disaster declaration for 8 Kansas counties, including Riley and Marshall in northeast Kansas. The declaration issued last Friday orders federal assistance to supplement other state and local recovery efforts for areas hit hard by severe storms, winds, flooding from the Labor Day flood in early September. The federal assistance adds to the additional recovery efforts initiated by the City of Manhattan and the Greater Manhattan Community Foundation. A fund set up by the foundation has already raised over $35,000 for flood victims.
The phrase Me Too has been one of the most popular hashtags on social media over the past year. Manhattan residents and students came to listen to the founder of the Me Too movement, Tarana Burke. Burke came to share words of empowerment in her story as a sexual assault survivor in hopes of supporting and elevating other survivors and inspire attendees. Burke created the campaign to give survivors a platform to speak on and work to end sexual assault. Students like Margarita Benares have high hopes that the Me Too movement will make an impact.
So for me, the Me Too movement is very important, and I hope it will grow into something more, give girls the encouragement to come out and speak on what has happened to them, because I know it's not easy.
Last year, the director of the Riley County Police Department, Brad Schoen, announced his retirement from service. Brad faithfully worked for the Riley County Police Department for the last 36 years, the last 10 of which he served as the director. After his retirement, the City of Manhattan created a law enforcement board to search for a replacement. The committee has hosted monthly public forums and will continue such until a candidate is finalized. Craig Beardsley, the chairman of the law enforcement board, says the final candidates will be someone who works best in the Manhattan community.
Want someone that fits the profile of the community and Raleigh County Police Department. So it needs to be someone that fit into the community.
Shifting towards the local community, the Riley County Police Department found the body of an elderly man with a couple of weeks ago, with reports showing that he was homeless. Channel 8 reporter Zeb Wiley went into the community to investigate the prominence of homelessness in Manhattan.
Winter is coming to Manhattan. These desolate buildings may look like something out of a post-apocalyptic movie, but for many, structures just like this are, well, home. Homelessness is a continuous issue in the United States despite record unemployment numbers, and Manhattan is no exception. MISI, or the Manhattan Emergency Shelter Incorporated, is a leading force in assisting the less fortunate. Unfortunately, they have been undergoing repairs since mid-March due to damages caused by a major leak on the second floor.
We have seen more seniors, 65 and older, in the last couple years coming. It's very hard to make ends meet in this community when you're living on a fixed income. So those living on Social Security or Social Security disability, it's very difficult to afford rent and then your other daily needs.
The elderly are increasingly susceptible to homelessness, a case even occurring in early October resulting in the death of one senior citizen.
Now, this is the alley where 65-year-old homeless man David Howie's body was found on October 9th. If you remember anything about early October, we had a cold front move in that brought in temperatures as low as the mid-30s late at night. A brutal reality for those who face homelessness in Manhattan.
Homeless documentary filmmaker Diane Nealon makes her way through Manhattan from time to time. With the assistance of MISI, I managed to catch her in a brief visit to discuss the signs of homelessness in the community.
The motels in the area, you can sort of look at those and tell whether people are living there, or I can anyhow. And and when people turn to motels to live in, you know that they're spending a lot of money and they're on very thin ice. So, typically they're families that are homeless, and life deteriorates from there. So, well, I think it's important to realize that homelessness is something that people didn't choose, and that nobody, said, when I grow up, I want to be homeless, And so, to really stop with the judgments and realize that it is something that can happen to anybody.
Diane is the founder of a nonprofit called Hear Us, a group offering resources and information for those concerned about homeless children, teens, and families. With winter months approaching, MISI is set to reopen their doors in early November, a welcome relief for those in need. In Manhattan, I'm Zeb Wiley, Channel 8 News.
If you wish to assist with MESSI, you can visit their website at www.messikansas.org. Cat's Cupboard is K-State's on-campus food pantry that serves all undergraduate and graduate students. Channel 8 reporter Julia Jorns took the time to see how it has grown in its first year of operation.
40% of K-State students who struggle financially said they have trouble affording enough food to meet their needs. Cat's Cupboard is a food pantry located in the basement of Fairchild Hall that is available to all undergraduate and graduate students. Volunteers put together to-go breakfast and lunch meals that you can pick up if you're in a hurry but you still need to eat. Mary Kate Sutton, a student employee for the food pantry, says she's excited about the growth of the food pantry over the past year.
Cat's Cupboard is there to be a help for the students who are food insecure, and so, yeah, I think it's important because it just shows this K-State cares for their students and wants them to do their best academically and have food.
For sheer existence, Cat's Cupboard has served over 600 students on 2,800 different visits with canned goods like these.
Erin Bishop, who is the coordinator for the food pantry, says Cat's Cupboard has created a lot of partnerships across campus to help it grow.
We want to be seen as a retention effort, just like things such as tutoring, where we're just here to help students stay in school, to get that degree, to continue on and be successful. We also know that
everything on its shelves, such as canned fruit and peanut butter, to household items and paper goods, is donation-based. Students may take whatever they need as often as they see fit. In Manhattan, Julia Jorns, Channel 8 News.
Cat's Cupboard is located inside the basement of Fairchild Hall in room 009. Donations can be dropped off at the food pantry during regular hours of operation. You can find more information on their social media accounts for Cat's Cupboard.
Laura Kelly, the Democratic gubernatorial candidate for Kansas, made a visit to the K-State campus on Sunday. Kelly spoke to about 40 students at the Students for Kelly event, arranged by the Kansas State University Young Democrats. With the election less than 2 weeks away, Kelly spoke strongly against her opponent, Republican Chris Kobach, and stressed the importance of getting young citizens out to vote. She said she has been impressed with the engagement across the state of Kansas and across all age groups.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. We know that this is going to be an incredibly close election, but it's also an incredibly critical election because the contrast is so clear between the candidates. The young people particularly need to be engaged in this because what happens in Kansas in the future is going to impact them the most of any age group.
As Kelly mentioned, some of the latest polls are hinting at a close race as we approach Election Day on November the 6th. This poll, conducted by Public Policy polling between October 17th and October 21st, shows the race between Kelly and Kobach in a dead heat, with both candidates tied at 41%. Independent candidate Greg Orman registered with 10% in this poll. Advanced voting has already begun in Riley County and will continue until the day before the election on November 5th. Kansas State is offering training on what students should do during an active shooter situation.
Speaking of training, the university held a fire extinguisher training for faculty members in case of an unexpected emergency. We'll have those stories next.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community, progress, you. Knowledge is more than a piece of paper. It's being committed to leaving the world a better place, dedicated to limitless learning. Conducting research that is tried and true, and then tried again. Crossing disciplines, blazing trails, discovering better methods that lead to global solutions. What is the K-State graduate student experience? Unrestricted, proven, you. What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Have you ever wondered what to do in an active shooter situation? The Kansas State Police Department will be offering response training to active violence and critical incidents for students and faculty next week. Channel 8 reporter Michaela Kitchen tells us why this training is so important.
ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, Evacuate. During the upcoming training, students and faculty members can learn possible victim responses from K-State Police. Officer Randy Miles says those that attend can learn tips and strategies to stay safe.
During the training, we basically are teaching them different tips and strategies that they can use to help protect themselves and help survive an active shooter event.
In addition to ALICE training, Senior Associate Dean of Student Life, Heather Reed, says she hopes students are signed up for K-State alerts.
And we also have the campus notification that we would send out, notifying the campus community of where that might be happening, possibly buildings to stay away from, and just more details about the situation.
The upcoming training, students and faculty members will get expert advice on what to do in active shooter or killer situations. Officer Miles says the event can give a safe state of mind.
I would like to say it gives them the tools and give them this state of mind that they can feel safe if that happens on our campus. We want to make sure that our students and our staff are prepared.
The event will be held in the Student Union in the Big 12 Conference Room on October 30th. In Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Michaela Kitchen for Channel 8 News.
There is no charge to participate, but students and faculty are asked to register online through their HRS self-enrollment link online.
Tuesday night, a fire extinguisher training session was held in Edward Hall. This class was held for faculty members to be ready in case of a fire occurring in the classroom. Faculty members had to complete a fire extinguisher training course prior to attending the session. At the end of the course, members received a certificate to bring to class. The 5 types of fires that can occur were discussed in the class, as well as the various types of extinguishers that are available. At the end of the class, faculty members demonstrated how to use a fire extinguisher with a simulated fire system. The leader of the training program provides a good tip if you ever find yourself needing to use a fire extinguisher.
Remember, you're the most important thing in the building. Human life is more important than anything that's in there. And as that one slide we went over a while ago said, if you do not feel comfortable fighting the fire, don't. Just leave and let the professionals do it.
Is the cold weather finally here to stay, or are warm, sunny days still on our horizon?
We'll have your weather update next.
The heart-pounding roar, a sea of purple, wielding twists and turns, a sincere smile, a simple phrase. Legacies that span generations, blurring the line between fans and family. Believing we bleed a different color. Foundations defined by a single stone. That special place you love full well. What makes traditions unforgettable? Loyalty. Purple. You.
I know a spot that I love full well.
'Tis not in forest, nor yet in dell. Ever it holds me with magic spell.
I think of thee, alma mater.
Carry thy banner high. Long, long, may thy colors fly.
Loyal to thee, thy children will swell the cry. Hail, 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 alma mater.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. Can you guys believe that we're less than a week away from Halloween?
You know, Alex, I cannot, but the weather sure has been feeling like fall. Our weather reporter, Alex Kemp, is here to let us know what the weather looks like heading into the weekend. Alex?
Yeah, we can just expect that into this weekend. Things are going to continue to be chillier. So jackets and just preparation for that is a good idea. So then moving into our national weather report, we can see that up in the northwest region that it is going to be in low 50s, and then also moving south into that area, it's going to continue to heat up and be into our high 70s, as well as moving into our Texas area, we're going to be in the mid 60s over there, and then moving up back north into the northeast corner of the country, we can see that it is continuing to drop temperatures up there with high 40s and lower 50s. Going down south towards Florida, of course, it's going to be heating up a little bit into being low 60s in that area as well. And so zooming into our Kansas map, we can see that on the west side of Kansas over here that it's going to be a little bit warmer over there in the lower 60s, but more towards our area over here that it is going to be warmer into the mid 60s and around that temperature throughout this side of the country. In our 24-hour agenda, we can see that today it is a little damp outside. We can expect some showers and chilly weather. That'll continue into the evening with more chances of rain and lower temperatures. For our 5-day forecast coming up on Thursday, today we can expect that there will be showers continuing out through the day. Tomorrow it should clear up just a little bit with a little bit more higher temperatures in the rest throughout the weekend. So that's what we can expect for coming up in the next couple of days.
So Adam, how did you spend your weekend while the Cats had a bye week?
Well, I had a chance to finally catch up on some Chiefs football. Their defense actually looked pretty good that last weekend.
We'll have your sports update right after the break.
We may take different paths, but we all move forward. preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you.
The best-kept secret in Manhattan is not a secret anymore. I'm Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Wildcats, and welcome to JP's Sports Grill. With daily chef-inspired specials, a full bar, and a diverse menu that has something for everyone, this place is guaranteed to impress. JP Sports Grill, your new favorite spot.
I was so pleased with what I saw on the discussion boards last night. Who started the module?
K-State Global Campus offers flexible online learning, the same name brand education, quality programs, and recognized award-winning professors with the flexibility to fit your life.
Here you are, sir. Can I get you anything else?
For your comfort and safety, light baggage must be stored in the overhead.
K-State Global Campus, always on, always there.
Welcome back to Channel 8 News. We're going to throw it over to Logan Wassler, who has some sports updates for us. Logan?
Thanks, Adam and Amelia. After this semester, Rock Creek High School will be losing a longtime member of their football team. Head football coach Mike Beam is retiring after 27 years. Channel 8 reporter Michaela Kitchen has the story.
This homecoming game at Rock Creek High marked its last with head coach Mike Beam. After 27 years, Beam is ready for his next challenge. As for what that is, he's still waiting to figure it out.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm waiting for God to tell me what he wants me to do next, so we'll see what the next chapter brings.
Although it's been almost 3 decades coaching, Beam says it's the relationships that have kept him coaching.
Just like tonight when all the former players came back and got to meet my current players, you know, that's pretty special. I think that's probably the most satisfying thing is just the relationships that you build.
One of those people who Beam has formed a relationship with is senior quarterback Jacob Reese, who says Coach Beam has helped him and been a role model on and off the field.
Here, he's helped me with anything I ever needed, whether it was physically or mentally.
Every year but one in Rock Creek High's existence, Coach Mike Beam has been right here on this field. With countless practices and 141 games under his belt, he is now retiring.
First got here, I was a very impatient coach and would get upset with my kids, and he taught me how to be patient with them.
Teacher Jerry Brummett says Beam has been a devoted member of the school and community.
He's been devoted to his family, he's been devoted to his kids, he's been devoted to this weight room, to the community.
Coach Beam's presence will truly be missed. In Manhattan, Kansas, I'm Michaela Kitchen for Channel 8 News.
The Mustangs will travel to play this Saturday at Haven High at 7 o'clock, Coach Mike Beam's last game. K-State Volleyball played their October 24th match to bring awareness to National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This game brought the Manhattan community together to spread awareness about the subject. Monica Diaz has the story.
K-State and OU had their rematch game of the season, which resulted in the volleyball fans packing Ahern Fieldhouse. While the focus was on the game, the players were also focused on bringing attention to the Dig Pink movement. Brooke Hine, volleyball player, is excited for the game.
It's really exciting. It's our Dig Pink match, so I think that is really good for breast cancer awareness.
Dig Pink is a movement across the United States that provides memorable experiences to athletes while coming together to support those who have stage 4 breast cancer.
For the team, this is much more than just a match. This is a way to share the Dig Pink movement and shine a light on stage 4 breast cancer.
Susie Fritz, volleyball coach, says this game is important because she has a personal tie to breast cancer.
It is dear and near to my heart. My parents are both cancer survivors, so I'm certainly 100% supportive of it.
Volleyball fan Danielle Funk said this game is important because she too has family that has passed away from breast cancer. But she had a strong statement about breast cancer.
Back off of everybody. It's taken a lot of family from me, and it's taken a lot of close friends.
The Dig Pink match affected everyone differently, but overall served to educate about breast cancer awareness while watching K-State play OU. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is during the month of October and will come to an end soon. In Manhattan, Monica Diaz, Channel 8 News.
The University of Oklahoma beat Kansas State in 4 sets, resulting in a season sweep for OU against K-State during the volleyball season. The Manhattan High Indians hosted the Highland Park Scots on Friday at Bishop Stadium. The Indians started off strong, scoring over 40 points before the first half was over. That streak continued throughout the rest of the game. The Scots were held at 0 points, while the Indians ended the game with a score of 58. The Indians are 7-1 this season and will face off against Wichita Southeast tomorrow, once again at Bishop Stadium. A lot of fall sports are progressing through their seasons, including K-State football, where we'll see if they can make it back-to-back wins against Oklahoma for the first time this season. Adam, Amelia?
Spooky season in full swing. We have some valuable Halloween information.
Boo! We'll discuss that and your Halloween forecast when we come back.
The limestone embedded in our history is the foundation of who we have become and what we can become tomorrow. We find inspiration in the past, new possibilities in our present, and anticipation for tomorrow's journey. Yesterday's triumphs are today's proud traditions, a transformation where a hall becomes a home, students become family, and research becomes reality. How do we build upon K-State's strong foundation? Innovation, collaboration, you. We may take different paths, but we all move forward, preparing for our future in the same historic library. We meet friends in the bustling student union and experience the exciting atmosphere of campus events. We appreciate individual interests and shared passions. Many different paths, one distinct destination. How does campus life become life experience? Connections, involvement, you.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
We have Alex Kemp back up here with us to talk about your Halloween forecast. Alex, what can you tell us?
It's definitely that time of the year where things are starting to cool down. So we can expect that to be present in the next couple of days. On Halloween, we can expect that there's a chance of rain earlier in the day. Towards the afternoon, things should clear up. And then in the evening, they'll be partly cloudy with about 60-degree temperatures.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. As we end today's show, we wanted to fill you in on some trick-or-treat locations for the kiddos next week. The Sunset Zoo will be hosting a trick-or-treat throughout the entire zoo this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4:30 p.m.
Also, some events next week on Halloween include trick-or-treating at the West Loop and Grand Mirror shopping centers, and Manhattan Town Center is holding their trick-or-treat event on Halloween from 5:30 to 7:30 for children 12 and under.
Well, that wraps up another edition of Channel 8 News.
Be sure to tune in next week as Channel 8 will have a complete reaction to next week's midterm election. See you then.
This is KKSU-LD, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills. You're watching Channel 8 News.